domestic situation in both Germany and France. France has had 4 prime ministers in 2 years. Germany's grand coalition is collapsing, and one of the 3 parties has left, and they're calling for an early election in February, which hasn't happened for more than 20 years. Meanwhile, the European Union has got a new team on board with Ursula von der Leyen as president of the European Commission. So, generally, I would say the EU is both in full order and disbanded when it comes to welcoming President Trump and other world leaders, including Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and all these people who are in power, obviously, and who are squeezing Europe in many ways.
Is the EU ready for higher tariffs under Trump? And how vulnerable would they leave economies like France and also Germany now?
So obviously the forecasts for 2025 are not very good. We're talking about a flat growth rate for Germany, and we're talking about 1% growth rate for France and Italy. There are demographic problems. There's the problem of the war in Ukraine, which I'm sure we're going to discuss in a moment. And of course, what Trump will do, and of course, defense and security is a big issue. This will impact the Eurozone. But I would say the problem is debt. The problem is obviously the economy not performing well since COVID, since the start of the war in Ukraine in 2022. All of this means that the French people particularly will have to tighten their belts over the next 2 years. And in the current environment, with a very split parliament, a hang parliament as you call it, it's going to be very difficult for the new prime minister, who was appointed just a couple of days ago, to put the house in order, and he hasn't got a majority, so it's going to be very difficult for François Bayrou to run this coalition.
Would you agree that EU governments and also the ECB are going to be constrained if, as a lot of people expect, rates are actually going to go higher from here?
Yes, I think they are trying to avoid this, but at the same time, Macron is still there for the next 2.5 years. There's some stability. France has been downgraded by Moody's. So they are hoping that with a new government in place, everything will be back in order. But I think the next few months are going to be very rough in terms of the domestic situation in both Germany and France. So people talk about Italy as the new leader of Europe, but obviously Italy is the 3rd largest EU economy, and I don't think they can replace either Germany, which as you know is the EU's economic powerhouse.